Yeah, I was impressed, man. I had to go back and watch a couple little things just to be sure that happened. And I'm like, yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
How's
Oh,
everyone doing tonight?
It was a Dave Filoni episode from start to finish.
It was very good and had some very good visuals.
Yes.
Which like which a big part of it, in my opinion, is the cinematography and all the art that goes along with the writing and the characters and the acting. Let alone just the main plot. But yeah, pretty good. I think it was 45 minutes or so, which it's better than 32 minutes.
Totally.
But
I didn't want it to finish.
Nice. No, I kind of knew it was coming along because I'd paused it a couple times to take a couple of screenshots. So I'm like, oh shit, it's ending soon. Oh, what? I don't want to know. But yeah, the name of the episode, From the Desert Comes a Stranger. And I read that title. I'm like, okay, well, what does that mean? Who's showing up? Like, that's... And it never crossed my mind the whole episode, like, about that title until he actually did show up. But
yeah.
Hey, Shane, how you doing, buddy?
Shane.
What do you think, Shane?
I was not expecting. I thought the title meant Cobb Vanth, obviously, when he showed up.
Sure. It was. I guess it was Cobb Vanth until the last half of the episode.
Well, I had heard a rumor that he was going to be in it, but I thought no. But then it's Dave Filoni, so anything can happen when Dave Filoni is running the show. He's got to bring his own characters in, hasn't he?
Yeah, so it did open up with Cobb Vanth, I guess, catching a little... I don't know what these guys are doing. They were doing a deal to themselves because there was just 4 different spice runners from what I could see. It wasn't like they were dealing with another alien species or something. And I'm assuming this is a thing of spice.
Why are they running spice through Tatooine? That's what I want to know. There's no spice mine in Tatooine that we know of, is there?
No, I guess it's just because there's no real authority here. Like, it's not run by the Empire. And I'm assuming that's what that is actual spice. Hey, Josh,
that was spice, yeah.
Which now, when I saw this and
Josh,
and the wind was blowing it away, the first thing I thought was all the posters that they're using to promote this season of Book of Boba Fett, because they got spice blowing in the background. That's what that is. It's not smoke or fire. It's this kind of spice. So I thought that was a neat little,
it's Dune.
It's Dune, yeah, but it was gold. I didn't know if we were going to see a lightsaber or Luke's hand fall out of there. I wasn't too sure, but it was a good start. I'm like, okay, we get to revisit this character who looks really skinny, and he looks like nothing without his Boba Fett armor and helmet and stuff. And I guess he mentions that at one time, like he does miss it. It's better with it. It's better with than without. Let's put it that way. So then we see a new planet, which I didn't have the credits on this time. I kind of wanted to speculate a little. So it might have said...
I was hoping that we'd see Leia, but it is supposed to be the same planet where he trained Leia, isn't it?
I guess so. It's nice that it's a pleasant planet. It's not always raining like Dagobah.
Yeah.
But cinematically very similar to Dagobah and what we see with a little bit of the training sequences and whatnot. So they get a visitor from the Mando, and I just love these visuals. Like, these are what it's all about. Like, if I worked in Star Wars and production and props and stuff, this is the stuff that would make me drool every day, is working on these kind of things. And and these camera angles. We saw this from the Pod Racer scene too as well.
It's exactly the same as the original. And it gets a call out, doesn't it, where he goes, "Is that a Naboo starfighter?"
He does. He recognizes it. And what I've seen a few people talk about over reviews and a lot of the shows I watch is a lot of people are wondering, okay, how many of those Naboo starfighters were there? Because they were... the Queen specially made them for... it was like her royal fleet. So maybe there was only less than 100 or 50 or something. But I kind of remember in the movie, there was a lot of them flying in space. So I don't think they were that limited. And Luke did look very good, as people are starting to... I don't think we'll see too many people complaining about that. I really don't, because
I said that last week. Then
I got goosebumps again. Like
I called that Luke were going to be in it, but that they've got that YouTube face swap guy, and he has made it look a lot better.
And I read the credits to see if I can recognize, that title or that department, but I didn't catch anything. I
think there was just one scene where it were a bit funny when it got a bit close up to him, but even the voice of Luke was amazing. Spot
on. The hair looked funny, but then again, I'm pretending, like this was made in 1985, and that's the props they would have used.
Yeah.
And then I saw this, and then my goosebumps, got turned into goose, pimples or something. They got bigger because I knew what was coming. I knew we'd see everyone's favorite.
Yeah. When I saw that, I thought, Atto, yeah.
I agree, Josh. I think last episode was stellar for all the visuals.
Yeah.
From up top, all the different angles, and this going from a brown planet to a green planet for a good half hour.
Totally.
I loved it, man.
Oh, it was just like, it's so, cram it all in.
And like the bamboo and stuff, I thought it fit. Like it fit in Star Wars. Like Luke climbing the bamboo trees and he wasn't slicing them with the lightsaber, which hope maybe we see that one time. But
yeah.
And then I saw these droids, which reminded me of
the androids,
gonks all attached together, doing
androids. That's what we call those.
Yeah, it was cool to see Ahsoka show up. I got a shot.
Yeah, I was shocked to see Ahsoka. Yeah, but it was nice. It was nice to see her. And the line that she says she's an old family friend. That was I think I was just smiling the whole way through the episode.
I was too. She had another line to Luke. Oh, you're just like your father.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh my God, you're older than this guy. Like I forgot.
This is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see Luke and Ahsoka together just talking. That's what I would like. One episode of just them two talking. That would be so cool.
Well, now that they've established that little connection, we may see it pop up again in her show. Why not? Right? Like another episode that includes.
I think Luke will be in the Ahsoka show. Yeah,
storyline. I don't know if we see Luke in super big ass battles or nothing, but hey, who knows? Who knows what's going on in the next series?
Yeah.
This is equal for me. Yeah, it was very good visually. This here. Now we got a new.
People might say it's fan service, but it's Dave Filoni. It's a Dave Filoni episode. It's going to be fan service. He's a fan,
and I'm a fan too. I'm a 50-year-old guy, and I thought this was everything. Every episode I'm liking so far. So I knew they were going to get better as they went along, and they are. Like, I can't pick.
Well, we actually saw Boba Fett in this one. Head nod.
We did. We saw Boba Fett head nod. We saw lots of great characters. So we see they didn't call it a temple; they called it a school. So a new Jedi school being built.
This is like Josh is saying there. This is where Luke trained Leia, and I wanted to see her, but obviously they're not going to show her in as well.
But you never know. We could see her. Like I wonder if she's there, right? Like I was surprised to see Ahsoka there. Like it would have been a cool scene without, but it showed, coming up in the next scene or two, like why it was important. So the robots came, and in 4 seconds they built a bench. I thought that was really funny too. I like that.
Yeah.
And then we get our introduction to seeing Grogu and Master Luke.
Anthony Daniels has been doing some filming as well.
And that droid I heard today in the bar sounded like.
I think that's just for the droid that droid show that they're doing, but
the animated show.
You never know.
And there's our first actual couple of seconds we get of Luke, and everyone can cry or nod
wow.
or complain. If you want to complain, fill your boots, man. Like if you can do better at making Mark Hamill look like he's 28 years old or whatever he is, fill your boots, man, because this is what it's about for me. They did it. They've successfully done this.
I actually think he looks a bit younger than he did in Return of the Jedi, but never mind.
You'd be surprised what your little haircut could do. Like his hair was
I mean, he's got all that stress lifted off his shoulders, hasn't he, by his killing his father.
And then I guess there's a little scene, a little frog coming by, and Grogu picks him up with the Force, and Luke shows him, oh yeah, well, I'll pick them all up at the same time. So gave him a quick lesson. And I don't think they've been together many days or weeks or months at this point.
That's what he said last week, and it's
very fresh.
It's only like a few weeks since he picked him up, and you don't know how long it took him to get back to the planet. And
hey, what's going on, Nathan? Thanks for stopping by.
Hey, Nathan.
Awesome. Glad to hear all the good feedback. So again, just more like they got the same moles and scars, and like it really got me excited. Like I was super impressed. And
what will Grogu choose? Yeah, I thought, tell me, I need to know. I think he's going to choose Mandalorian. I'd like him to choose Luke, obviously, but what we know of going forward, we didn't see him, so I'm assuming that he's going to choose Mandalorian.
Yeah, we'll see, and that what a way to end the show too.
Yeah, what a cliffhanger.
But during some of the training montage, we see he says, "Well, where are you from? I'll try and help you remember. Where you're from."
Yeah, I thought, is he Spock?
Well, I thought we were going to see like his home planet.
I thought we were going to see him being rescued. Who actually rescued him? I thought, come on, I want to know.
I bet you that's in another training episode. I guarantee we probably see whose hands he's in, which is the one thing we don't see. We see like he's being held by somebody or held back. I'm sure he's standing on the ground.
Well, I've got this theory, right? Listen to this one. I've got this theory that obviously Grogu's going to go back to Mandalorian now. So in the next series of Mandalorian, we're going to find out the Bad Batch saved him.
Exactly, like it's all,
and we'll see the Bad Batch.
It's all story time. These guys
we'll see the Bad Batch in the next season of Mandalorian.
Or if it could be just one of them, even, right? One of the characters, if it's Omega or any one of the Bad Batch, if they're still together, right?
Yeah. Or even Mace Windu.
Yeah, I saw people asking for Mace Windu, but I'm like, I think he'd be great if this season was to go into a next season, as because he's a pretty main character, and they're already dealing with some pretty major main villains or issues in this storyline. To bring in Mace Windu, I think would be crossing the swords too much, or there's probably a better term for that, but
I think it's going to go that way.
And then
I don't know, why can't I have both? I mean, he can't have attachments, but I don't see why I can't have both.
You can just take both and jump really high and get away from Luke. So then your lady friend shows up here. Yeah, it was a good flashback. It was neat to see them, flashback to anywhere. So yeah, they had a good scene, and I'm not gonna lie. This was the point. This was the very emotional part of this episode for me. And at the end of this, where she's actually basically telling him, "No, I don't think you should see him." I cried. I was like, "Are you kidding me, man? We're not gonna fucking see these two together. Like, that's terrible." But to help the story, like, I'll take one for the team. Like, I was like, man, that really sucks. Like, that's like a relationship we all want to see again. And I kind of think we're not going to now. I think he's gonna go with the light thing. Like, I don't know. I can't see that just being the instant next decision that Grogu has to make. I really hope it's not. I hope he has, as Luke mentioned to him, it's like, we're all gonna die like in a couple of years to you. Like, you may not ever see Mando again because you die in 50 years and you're still a baby. Like, and he said that, and I'm like, okay, now we're not even gonna see Grogu again, is what I thought, and it made me feel sad because I almost thought that's maybe what Luke was saying, is like, you know what, this is your decision, and we're not going to be part of it, and we're not going to be part of your life. I don't know. I didn't see the point of him saying that, but there was a point to it. Yeah, so maybe the next time we do see Luke and Grogu is either in the Ahsoka or the Mandalorian show. But I now think I'm going to see. I don't think the Mandalorian and Grogu are going to see each other for a long time. I think it's going to be a while now.
Yeah.
Maybe not even at all in season 3 of Mandalorian. Like, he might be a character in the other episodes to try and keep them apart. Like Ahsoka said, it's best for him not to see you. And now Luke, in his own way, is like, it's best for you to not really get this gift from him, but you choose. If you choose, I'm kicking you out of my fucking planet. Like, boop. Like that. I'm like, really? But this was awesome too. This on the little blue knapsack on Luke running around. I'm like, oh man, there's a good spot to hit.
I think it shows you which way it's going to go because he's still got that bloody little sack thing on. I think if he were going to be a Jedi, he's going to have Jedi robes on.
Oh, eventually, but that's why I said this might have been like the first day or two of Luke and Grogu hanging out. With the new order, maybe we'll be able to have both. Perhaps Grogu could help Rey start a new order.
Yeah, maybe he's it will be a bit older, but yeah. Good.
So yeah, we do get a little, not flashback, but a little callback to Luke running and jumping and doing somersaults over logs and in the planets and stuff, and I thought that was brilliant, man, because it looks like fucking Luke, and I was very impressed with it. His body style might look a little weird, but I'm like, you know what? I believe it. It's better than I could do.
Yeah. And the little Yoda theme came up, and the Force theme came up, and everything.
They did play the Yoda music.
Yeah.
I think twice during this whole Grogu montage, and it was brilliant. It was well placed, and it was nice to see the callbacks to the
look at that. That is Luke, isn't it? That is Luke.
This is better than any video game graphics I've seen or
totally
fan films.
I think they did really well bringing this guy on, and it's amazing that he can do it better than anybody at Lucasfilm.
Well, to be fair, like the last time we did see Luke was, they got about 25 seconds of him from his face. Maybe there's a minute fully. A couple of lines are spoken, and it was like we saw the difference in movie making capabilities between the first Jurassic Park and the second one. Like the first one, they were using miniatures. The second one was like CGI. Like it was all CGI. It kind of advanced in 4 years. So we've seen that. It's been 4 years since they made the original Mandalorian season 1 too, right? So it has advanced. This was pretty cool, getting zapped by the little droid. I was waiting to see that happen, and I got him a couple times.
Jumped, that was brilliant.
So yeah, he kicked it like a soccer ball at first, which I thought was cute. And
yeah.
He was like, no, it's not that kind of game. And then Mando's off. Didn't get to see the little green guy, and went back to Lord Fett's lair, and visited Gammo in the parking lot. And while these guys are discussing over their new digital Apple map there of what's going on the planet, with his mod gang and his Wookiee.
I'm sorry, but how cooler does Mando look than Boba Fett?
Shiny. I like shiny.
It should be the other way around.
I think Boba should get some chrome green armor when he eventually gets the Darksaber and rules all of Mandalore. He should chrome up his stuff, but keep it green still. But just chrome it up. If Hasbro can't do it, Boba do it.
So just tell Boba to keep his bloody helmet on.
And Mando shows up just when they're like, "Yeah, we still need some more muscle. I think I can help." And then I'm like, "Okay, who's he gonna call? The Tuskens." And then the next scene we see this, and I'm like,
"How the hell did they get that on top?"
When it first started rolling on the screen, you could just see a little bit of the skull. I shit my pants. Could you not? I thought it was like an Ewok battle wagon, because like the toy. Because I just saw it, and it slowly rolled into frame, and then they cut to this scene, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so cool. I want this toy now. I want a skull on my sandcrawler. Yes, I agree, Josh. I think everyone has to realize now what last week's episode was all about, because it wasn't about Din Djarin. The whole episode was about the story of Boba Fett, the Mythosaur, like everything that goes with it. That logo that only Boba Fett has on his
Yeah.
shoulder was on the armorer's tool chest. A lot of people didn't see that because it was dark, but his exact logo is on her tool chest. And she calls to him several times in that episode. It's just not clear, but that's the only reason those lines were spoken, so we could see it later on down the road, whether it's next episode or next year if they do a season 2, which I think is a guarantee at this point because
totally.
I think the fandom is going to be more happy with the show at the end than dishappy. So I saw this. I took a picture. I thought, oh, this guy's going to be a cool new character. I've never seen him before, but yeah, he's a fucking dick, and he ended up being a reason Cobb Vanth got shot. And I think Cobb Vanth
might as well have had a red shirt on.
Well, I think Cobb Vanth lives though, but this guy's definitely didn't live. He's
am I right?
He fucked up. But yeah, he just looks kind of skinny and not very powerful and threatening in a red cardigan and a handkerchief. But he is a good cowboy. He's
got the old Western shirt on. That's what it is, isn't it?
Like he definitely should be in your Red Dead Redemption video game.
Totally.
Because he's got that look.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get them hooking up. Parking this speeder illegally, as this guy was trying to tell him. Can I buy you a drink? So then, when he said that, I thought, oh, we're going to see Din. Is he going to take off his helmet? Are we going back to, or was that one-time thing? Because he only did it that one time when he's saying goodbye to his green guy.
Yeah,
that's it. He didn't ever take it off in public before.
Have you got a straw?
And then we got the bar here. Hey, Linda, thanks for stopping by. Hope you liked the episode. And you watched it because we're talking about the episode.
Yeah. Spoilers.
We get this location again, which I liked the first time we visited because I liked this rib cage to whatever creature that's from. The frame in the building. And the Weequay character, I think he's going to be a key character going forward because I think he wants to. I don't think he's very happy with what happened at the end of the episode because they kind of zoomed in on him and he was like, I'm going to get my Weequay friends now. So I think we'll see a bunch of Weequay characters in the future. Yeah, and did you hope just say you liked it or not? Because I think everyone did like this episode. I think I'm confident to say that. And then we get the little silhouette. I don't know if Cad Bane has his own music theme, but this is what we've been playing.
At first I thought, oh, then I remembered that there was a rumor that he was going to be in it, and then I thought, it's Dave Filoni. Of course, he's in it.
It was Cobb Vanth was looking like the wind blew the chimes. And I'm like, oh, a big spaceship or something's coming, right? Like, and then they went to the right, and you could see this. I think I zoomed in twice, but it was very small, and I knew instantly. Even though the hat I think could have been a lot wider, I knew instantly because it was just a man walking with looked like a coat. I'm like, it's Cad Bane. I know it's Cad Bane. I know it is. And something's going to go down. And we got one more scene a little bit closer, kind of confirming basically, unless there's another blue character that looks like him. But I guess my one pull from this episode that I think they could have improved on, I think his hat could have been a little wider. And maybe we can see in another picture coming up. I didn't notice any robotics in his head, which I think he has now. If him and Boba Fett at one time shot each other in the head, but he definitely has, pretty skanky looking teeth here. But yeah, how cool is this character in live action now? This is one of the cartoons I wanted to see come to life, and we saw it. Like he upped his eyes, and even if they didn't show his eyes, I would have been cool with it because I knew who it was by his voice. And I don't know because I don't know the voice actors, but I'm assuming it was the same voice actor from the animation because it sounded bang on. If anyone knows if it was the same actor that voiced it, I think his name was David Pasquesi. So I haven't even looked up who David Pasquesi was, but that's the name that covered that showed when his that artwork came up in the credits.
Yes, I noticed that. He's got the gauntlets, hasn't
Yeah, and I was trying to piece out his armors because he had like rockets on his boots in cartoons. I didn't see rockets on his boots. I think I got pictures of his boots to see if we could pick him out. Yeah, the brim was a bit small, but he does look like he's got a big alien head. So maybe it's just If I had my figure here, I'd compare. But I think they nailed it. I think they really did a good job with him, and pretty cool that we're going to see him again. Without a doubt, we're going to see him again. But who is he with? Who is he with? Who's he working for?
Well, I think it's Black Sun, isn't it?
Well, it's the spice running people, which I guess is the Pikes, right? But are there other? I was hoping Bosk would have been backing him up. Not really backing him up, but I think Bosk is in this storyline with Cad Bane in the same position. He's helping out the bad guys. Because I just don't see Bosk being an ally to Boba Fett and the Black Wookiee.
No.
Yeah, he did look pretty good. I thought he was the second coolest part of this episode was the introduction of Cad Bane to live action in the Star Wars universe. But yeah, I don't see no rockets on his boots unless they're really, really tiny. Yeah, he had something metal on his back, definitely.
Yeah, Josh, I was really expecting Kira to show up in the cantina at the end. I was really hoping, but they couldn't pack anything else in that episode. Yeah. Everybody was in that episode.
And then they panned up to this guy, watching him walk away, like he's just walking in a desert. Like, how far does he walk? Like, doesn't he have a space horse or something to ride on? Or a bantha, like he's got lots of time to spare, or his spaceship's a mile away or something. But yeah, so now I think we're gonna get help from this city, which they call themselves Freedom Town now. Mos Pelto, it used to be called, but Freedom Town, which might be 50 people or however. But
yeah, I think we're gonna get another Disney Plus series, a bit like a western set in Freetown. That would be pretty cool.
It's definitely a neat little new location on a familiar planet to us, which I like because it is very small. Like it's a cantina and one other building. I think that's it. So there's not a lot of people there. Yeah, I was very surprised at the end of this. So then these guys show up.
Yeah, once I saw they were going out, it was pretty obvious what was going to happen. But I did think that they would go into the bar and Kira would have been sat there. That's what I thought was going to happen.
I thought for a second too when they asked them, "Oh, can we, go shine your buckets?" I thought that, they're like, "No." I thought, "Oh, they're not those alien fish people. They're someone else in Pike disguise." But that was just quickly in my head. It obviously wasn't that. You can see the guy's, bladder or whatever. Right
I think she'll have survived that.
Forget Jennifer Beals. Max Rebo's in there.
Yeah, Max Rebo again.
How many times is Max Rebo gonna get the fucking the blow up? But this voice sounded like Anthony Daniels to me. I didn't see his name in the credits. I didn't see this droid, but most of the protocol droids are all played by the same actor now. I can't see his name, but a neat looking character. I hadn't seen this exact head.
No,
with a square jaw. It looked pretty cool.
The head's totally different.
The next picture, I'm pretty sure, is a big Cthulhu sign. Yeah, so yeah, that happened. And I was extremely shocked, and it happened, and it just ended that whole scene, and I think it ended our whole visit to Tatooine here. Hey, welcome, man. Thanks very much. Hopefully you saw the episode, and you're aware that we're fully talking about it here. Episode 6, Chapter 6. Yeah, I definitely think Cobb is alive.
Yeah, Cobb's still alive, yeah.
Put him definitely. On the he only took one shot. And man, Cad Bane, the other guy was drawing, and Cad Bane shot the guy who wasn't drawing first, and then shot that guy 6 times. And I'm like, that's cold, man. Like, but he knew Cobb Vanth was going to be a better threat. So
yeah.
But geez, man, yeah, he's died twice now. Max Rebo, like, no, you can't cancel your orders. Anyone who
Max Rebo's behind it all. That's what it is.
But yeah, that was very sad to see. And then it didn't take very long, but they built this. Those robots, they were working like, I guess they don't need to rest.
Androids.
They can work 24 hours a day, and this got done in a day or two. So we went back here, and I wasn't expecting to go back here because I was already crying that we didn't get to see Grogu again. So then we get inside that little school temple building.
Just look at Luke there. It's unbelievable. How far it's come on in a year. In 1 year.
It is Luke. Yes, I definitely think
one guy on YouTube's come and helped him.
I definitely think Cobb Vanth is going to be an ally, like he was saying.
Yeah, totally.
But he mentioned to the Weequay, he's like, oh, get all the people of fighting age to the bar. Let's have a meeting. And he's like, well, we're not going to fight for what he just asked us to fight for. He's like, no, but they might after I say what I have to say. And then I'm like, okay, what's he gonna say that's totally different to the story that would help them all fight? So I'm curious what that was for. I think it meant something. Lord Jar Jar, yeah, he's out in the barge. And then we get to see the chainmail that we kind of assumed was going to be made, because we saw the links in that last episode, and it looked really cool, and it was a touching moment to see this, and I was very happy, even for the next minute or two, thinking, "Wow, Grogu's getting this." And then I did see that little box beside Luke, and I'm like, "Oh man, he's also getting a lightsaber. This is cool. This is going to be one of the coolest moments in Star Wars history." And it wasn't. He made him choose. So that was...
Yeah, the next episode, they're all getting their asses kicked, and Grogu comes and saves everybody.
That was heart-wrenching. Luke was giving him Yoda's lightsaber.
Yeah,
so Luke has Yoda's lightsaber.
Take Yoda's lightsaber!
So, and then comes, the game show portion of the episode. Which really... I'm not going to say it pissed me off, but fuck, that's not nice, man. That's not nice, Luke. Luke, bad. Bad Luke.
Yeah, you've got to make decisions in life, haven't you?
So again, more good, stunning visuals, showing this as it probably was only a 2-minute scene, but, the visuals and Luke talking, hearing Mark Hamill talking and about how Grogu and why he has to make this decision, because I don't understand the reason why, because Mandalorian doesn't understand. When the armorer tried to explain to him, the way he was, Mandalorian accepted it and he learned. He apologized for any mistakes he made, but he also questioned it sometimes. So I wonder if we see Grogu question something because he's seen, the Mando do it before. It's interesting. I do wonder what he will choose. He doesn't have an attachment to Luke at this point, but he will. Don't give it time. Why wouldn't he, right? Like, Luke is a very caring person, and I can see them having a relationship. I knew two things straight away. Grogu would destroy the remote, and that Cad Bane instantly. Yeah, he did destroy that remote after a few minutes of defeating it and jumping. And now we see the jumping power like that Yoda showed in his big lightsaber duel.
I wonder if he does take the chainmail, but Luke gives him the lightsaber anyway.
I don't see that. But I wonder why Luke wouldn't just let him have the gift. Maybe not even tell him what it's from. No, but that wouldn't matter. He didn't see him. That was enough. The fact he didn't let them see each other, I think, is a good enough reason to let him have both. Like, that's... Yeah. He's also... I'm assuming he's still wearing a chain. Is Luke going to take that little Mandalorian mythosaur chain away from Grogu? I don't think so. Like, that would mean the same kind of thing, right?
I mean, who else is he going to give the bloody lightsaber to? It's going to have to give him the lightsaber.
Exactly. Or what if Grogu just grabs them both at night and runs and jumps away? Yeah, I'd like to watch it again too. I thought it was a really good episode.
Yeah, probably the only episode I want to watch again.
So, you get the red pill or the blue pill. Do you want this chainmail or do you want this Yoda's lightsaber? That was so tough. And of course, the best thing they could do is, well, let's end the episode here. Grogu's a little bit of an ass like that. So I was very sad to see that Luke did this, and now we all should hate Luke. I never want to see Luke again. Luke ruins everything. No, I'm just kidding. That was a tough scene, and I can't believe they're making this little 50-year-old baby make that decision.
No, it won't have Darksaber. It's got to have Yoda's, hasn't it? It's got to have Yoda's lightsaber.
I think the Mando is like a family member to this kid at this point.
Totally. That's what the Jedi, they took the
baby Kylo.
The kids away from their families, didn't they? Baby Kylo.
Also, the Mando has spoke, again, how he did it to Ahsoka as he did to the armor, how Grogu is a foundling. Like he is.
Yeah.
That you can't take that away from him. It's not like he earned it or anything, but because a Mandalorian found him, we call him a foundling, and I'm kind of like a Wookiee oath. I owe this guy. I'll do whatever for him. So I think Mando is gonna still be in Grogu's life. So now in the end, I do think he'll take the armor if he had to choose, because I don't think that him and Mando, I don't know. I just don't want to see them not ever see each other again. I think that would be very sad. I don't think it'd be sad for the Star Wars franchise. I think it would just be sad for me as a fan of these two characters together. It would be great for the smallest character to be able to handle the weapons that those big dudes can't, though. Yeah, the Darksaber is a heavy weapon. I don't know, though. I think the Darksaber does belong to Lord Boba, though. I do think so. I thought he was going to give him a kyber crystal.
You're supposed to get your own kyber crystal, aren't you?
I thought that, too, because I saw the box, and I'm like, oh, they're going to build a lightsaber or something, right? Because that's part of the Jedi training.
Go to Ilum.
Which
is now Starkiller Base.
My favorite quote from Luke in this episode was, "Don't try, do."
Yeah.
So he said it normally instead of Yoda's backwards talk, and I really perked up when he said that.
That's how he used to talk.
I'm pretty sure I watched that same part 3 times just because I'm like, yeah, he just reversed and made it normal what Yoda says, do or do not, and I love that, and because it was Mark Hamill saying it. And even if they're not showing Luke on the screen, like at this moment when I took this shot, it's still Luke. Like it's fucking Luke speaking. And they didn't have to show his face the whole time, but they showed his face a lot. And I was very happy with it. I was very happy with this episode, Mr. Dave Filoni. I know you're watching. Thanks, Dave. If you want to pop in the chat, there's a link in the StreamYard at the top. I sort of think that too, Josh, incorporating both beliefs.
I don't know. Jedi and Mandalorians always been enemies, haven't they?
They were enemies in like 1,000 years ago, I guess. That's the lore that there was a big battle. And we got confirmed that this episode was, co-written by both Filoni and Johnny Favreau.
The Darksaber did come from the first Jedi Mandalorian.
Yes.
So yeah, there could be a point there.
And I wonder if Luke knows that history. Like, does Luke have those books at this point? Those Jedi books? Or that come into the picture?
Yeah, because he got them out of Obi-Wan's hut, didn't he?
So, again, we see where the stunning visuals come from with some of the concept art in the closing credit scene. I didn't see Luke wearing a Jedi robe, but this is awesome. No. Just the bamboo, it just fits so well. And it was a good callback to, the Dagobah days. And then we see they even concepted the bench that those droids built, which I thought was pretty cool. And this confirmed the rumors of, I guess, in the early last year, there was talks that they were filming the Ahsoka show, but they weren't. She was obviously filming, some scenes for this Book of Boba Fett. Jordan Bolger. Well, whose name was that? That might have been the cowboy that got killed.
That was the other guy, I think.
And I'm going to guess he was also in one of those Western TV shows because they tend to do that. Because that Weequay bartender, that actor is in not Yellowstone, the other cowboy TV show, the guy with the mustache and beard. A couple of my friends told me that. So I would guess he's also from one of those cowboy movies. Page turners, they are not. Both Mandalorian and Jedi. Yeah, but Could Grogu be the next? Yeah, so now do we see a credit collection Ahsoka figure coming? So
Justin Bolger is from Bradford, Coventry. He's an English guy.
Oh, is he?
He's been in Peaky Blinders.
Oh, I think I know who it is. I think I know what.
Tom and Jerry movie. Bit of a difference.
Dave Pesquesi is an American actor and comedian. His screen credits include Groundhog Day, Strangers with Candy, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Return to Me, The Ice Harvest. So this guy is the Cobb Vanth guy, Dave Pesquesi. But I don't know if he's the voice. I think
he's the one of the mods.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, usually when they show these credits right over the name, that's who they're introducing. That's why I took these shots because
it's one of the mods.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember him. I remember
him. All the other mods in the actual credits. So there's beautiful art of this, and I'm assuming that's the big dragon they killed last season, right? With the help of the Tuscans.
Yeah.
And Mando and Cobb Vanth.
Yep.
Oh, what did Shane say? Oh, credit collection is okay. Yeah, it would be cool. I didn't buy any of those. I like the card backs. I really like the fact they put them on card backs because
you're now going to get a Grogu with lightsaber.
Well, it's Yoda's lightsaber. It's actually Yoda's lightsaber, which makes it even better.
To get jibs.
So we got the same Gamos. We got Deputy Scott, JJ Dashnaw.
Yeah, that's the
Weequay Propertier. So that's the Earl Brown. That's the actor from the Cowboy Show. Joe. I don't know who Joe is. Christmas Chanel. And the Twi'lek Service. So I didn't catch an obvious Cad Bane. That's why I think it was that Pasquesi name. But that was, besides seeing Luke and Grogu, the second best part of this episode was the introduction, I think, of Cad Bane into live action.
Do you think Mark Hamill actually was on set at all? I don't think he was.
I think he lives in Los Angeles, and yeah, he would go to a building to do a voice actor work.
Because the guy that played Luke in season 2 of Mandalorian was actually in the episode last week, wasn't he? In the X-Wing.
Yes. And
so Luke, that told me that Luke was going to be in it.
And Mark Hamill would have gone in for them to scan his face saying all that dialogue so they can match it over top of the actor. Yeah. So guaranteed he did all that work in Los Angeles, probably in one day. Like they can pull that stuff out, right?
It's like with the voice as well. That doesn't sound like Mark Hamill now.
No,
if you read the lines and redid his voice,
it's perfect. They can edit that. It's like if our iPhone
doesn't sound like that anymore.
If we can do that in Snapchat, fucking Lucasfilm can do that.
Yeah, so, de-age his voice as well as his face.
As well as his face. So I'm amazed at that. I think they could knock our socks off if Mr. Han Solo shows up in a Boba Fett show. And why not? Now we've seen Luke.
Well, we kind of there are rumors that Harrison Ford is in the last episode.
Yeah, that has been the rumor.
Yeah. And so hopefully we'll get Kira. I think what's going to happen is Han's going to drop Grogu off in the Falcon, and then Leia and Kira's going to be there, and they're going to meet.
Corey Burton.
That will be cool.
So is Corey Burton the voice of Cad Bane on the cartoons, or was he the voice for both? Okay, he's a cartoon voice guy, but I don't think he was the actor in the costume, which doesn't really matter. They can have two characters, like Luke just did it. But yeah, there's a brand new. I never heard this rumor or leak that Cad Bane was in it. I always just.
Oh yeah. I heard that it was. I didn't really. It didn't really click with me because I'm not really a fan of Cad Bane, to be honest with you. I'm happy he's in it. I'm happy for everybody that likes him that is in it, and I'm glad that another cartoon character is actually coming to live action.
Oh, absolutely. And I think they did a very good job of him. Minus the hat could have been a little wider. I was very happy with it. His teeth were nasty. His voice was bang on. He's obviously a good shot. He talks about Boba Fett. He's a killer who worked for the Empire. We'll double whatever he's offering you, right? Like he's he's a bad guy. Like he's obviously just wants working for the buck, working for the man, if you want to call it that. Different to the cartoon. It wasn't as deep. Okay. I do think it sounded really good, though. I was very happy with the introduction of that character, without a doubt. So, anything that you could see that they go to next week? Do you think we see a little bit more of Luke and Grogu next week?
Well, it's the last episode of next week, isn't it?
Are we all Tatooine? And
it's all
Pikes.
Well, it's kicked. It started, hasn't it? It's kicked off with the Pikes and Boba Fett gang. But it's just who we're going to see on either side.
There was another screen art I didn't grab, but it showed the Pikes in a bigger like land speeder, which they weren't in a really big land speeder in the episode. It was like a regular size land speeder for 2 or 4 people. But I wonder if we see more new vehicles, because I'm a big fan of not only the props and the aliens, but yes, new spaceships and stuff. I hope we get to see if the Pikes, what they got to bring to the table when it comes to, always see them in as a train so far, and an Uber or a rented speeder that the guy left in. Love seeing anime characters come down.
Yeah,
I agree.
Just a normal. I mean, if you're not a fan of Star Wars, or if you're just like just one that watches the TV shows and the movies, you won't know Cad Bane is.
No, and he's actually a really good character. Like from the anime, he was in both animated series, the Rebels and the Clone Wars. He was one of those characters that made it to both, and I loved it. I like his voice. I like his cowboy theme. He fits in the Mandoverse so well because it's already very Western cowboy theme. So if there's any character that I want to see walking down the sandy thing to have a little shootout with Cobb Vanth or with Boba Fett or with anyone, it's definitely Cad Bane. I got to pull up that one shot because it was the good, the bad, and the ugly from the between the legs. But yeah, I guess that would be this shot here that we see in all the Westerns. I think every Western ever made, by law, they have to have this shot in it. And
yeah, totally.
Have the wind blowing and a tumbleweed go by.
Yeah, well, it's tumbleweeds.
This fits in Star Wars. And Cad Bane and the Mandalorian and Cobb Vanth, the character, fit in this Mandoverse so well. I love these characters. They're really good. I like Cobb Vanth a little more now that he's took a shot and had a dumbass working as a deputy. Yeah.
Where's Todo, though? That's what I want to know.
Yes, comic characters coming alive too with the Black K and maybe a few more, right? And I see a lot of people talking all the good stuff about Bryce Dallas Howard and how they want her to have her own movie now. Now I'm just going to spread a fake rumor now. Let's have her make Solo 2. And then her dad made the first one and she makes the second one. I'll be a happy man for many years if that happens. I'm sure she could do it. She can have Larry Cranston and those guys write again, or she can write it, or Filoni or Favreau or whoever. But I think Dice Browse Howard might deserve her own Solo movie. And I think there's room for it. I think there's room for story for those characters, Kira, Eldritch playing young Han Solo.
Well, we're getting a Lando series, aren't we?
We are, but I don't think the main characters are going to be Solo and Chewbacca.
They're still under contract.
They are. I think Aldrin definitely is under some type of has a deal. Yes, wouldn't that be cool to see Opie Cunningham and his daughter both make a Star Wars movie? Because I'm a big fan of Solo, and I would love to see that. And I think I haven't heard anyone complain about her as a director. I think she's done very well for herself in a short time, and her resume is starting to look pretty stacked. Yeah,
he's not though.
Offered him double. We'll offer you double what Fett's paying. Oh, it would not be something if it was a 2-hour episode next week. Please be a 2-hour episode next week. That would be very cool.
I think it'll just be like the 50 minutes, to be honest with you.
We got emergency service tributes. Thanks for coming. Despite being a crime syndicate, the Pikes have always been around and always had a knack for aligning themselves with those in power. In the Bad Batch, that ties with the Camino.
Yeah.
Yes, and Camino has been brought back up, and no more flashbacks to Camino. I still think water would help Boba Fett win over Tatooine by it not being a hard thing to come by. But it seems like spice is the problem, is having this crime lord stuff happening. Even though Boba is a crime lord, we still have this other crime lord stuff running drugs through his territory. So I don't know why he just doesn't take a cut of it if he's a crime lord. Oh, I didn't finish that. So the Pikes have connections to Camino. Maybe they're responsible for the plot to kidnap and clone Grogu. Interesting. And I wonder if Grogu is actually kidnapped. Or like who kidnaps him, right? Like, will that be another flashback we see Grogu have?
I think we're going to see more flashbacks. We need to see more flashbacks.
With the help of Luke using the Force.
Yeah.
Let me give you another 5 minutes of flashback. Because it looked like it knocked him out. Because after we saw that flashback, Luke was like, "Oh, welcome back!" Like, So he was in his own there. She has the eye for sure. I think we get Solo 2 fleshed out through this and the Lando series.
And he didn't need a back to tank.
No, he didn't. But now we know from last week they got the back to spray that the heavy Mando had.
Yeah,
he patched up Mando's leg. I think that was referred to as back to spray in the closed captions. It was in their first financial interest. The Pikes could even be is this Pablo Hidalgo in here? Could even be the engineers of Palpatine's undead return. Like, I swear the Pikes must be the engineers of the galaxy at this point. I think droids are. I think the droids can build that school out of rocks in a few hours. They should be using them for. But yeah, this is my fingers crossed for next week.
I still think that Palpatine was a clone.
The one we saw in the
I still think it was a clone.
He's like a zombie.
That makes more sense, doesn't it? Because they're trying to clone Snoke, and it was always damaged, and Palpatine was damaged.
Why I don't think it was a clone, and it was the same person, is because it seemed like he had the same memories, and I don't think the clones can share the same memories. Like he could tell the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise to Rey if you wanted to. Yeah, and I don't think a clone would know that. Do you know what I mean? I don't think
they can engineer it into the programming, can't they? Like they did with the clones. They could program the clones, couldn't they?
Yeah, we know from the chips, right? So I guess other people could program them. I think it's possible whoever Mando had initially saved.
In my head canon, anyway, that was a clone of Palpatine. Palpatine actually died on the Death Star. And that was just a clone. That's why it was damaged, like Snoke was.
Yeah.
But they tried to say that it wasn't. It was actually Palpatine.
Well,
so if that was Palpatine, what was the Palpatine on the Death Star? Was that a clone? Because Dark Empire...
He did get cloned, right?
Yeah. The Palpatine did die on the Death Star, and they cloned him. And it was the younger body. Which the war's going to do. In Rise of Skywalker, they're going to have was Matt Smith going to be the younger Palpatine, right? Yeah.
So, but maybe at that point there already was a clone Emperor, just somewhere else.
Yeah, it makes sense that he would clone himself,
or a little younger. But just because the one in the Emperor was in the sequels was so zombie looking, kind of like Snoke was very zombie looking.
Yeah,
it makes you have to question whether it's him or not, right?
Yeah.
But what Josh is saying, I think whoever Mando initially saved Grogu from might have been protecting him.
See, the thing is,
I think they were ready to deliver the baby to Moff Gideon. I think the client was a bad guy.
I don't think Grogu was a clone because you cannot make a force-sensitive clone. I think that was the idea of trying to get Palpatine to be force-sensitive, the clone of Palpatine to be force-sensitive. That's why they're using Grogu. I don't know. Well, we might never find out, but that's the way I'm thinking anyway.
Linda calls it back to tank Boba figure before we get a back to tank Luke figure.
Yeah,
they have made a back to tank Luke figure before.
Nailed them.
The power of the Force line there. Well, they have Luke. He's kind of like this.
Yeah,
in his diapers. Supposedly,
from Hasbro, another Boba Fett. Thanks.
Transfer it to a clone body like it did in Dark Empire. Yeah, I can see it's science fantasy, so anything like that is totally possible, right? They fly now. What do you think was seen protecting Grogu at the Coruscant?
They were just random Jedi, weren't they? And I was waiting. I thought we're going to see who rescued him, but I think we'll see that maybe in new Mandalorian season. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. As some people think we're going to see an actual mythosaur, and there's one more because the Armor says there's one. The last mythosaur is on Tatooine. But I'm telling you right now, she's referring to Boba Fett as the last mythosaur. So he is the true ruler of Mandalore. And when someone hands him that lightsaber, it's going to be like butter for him because he's the rightful owner of it. Who we're going to find out. I think that's the only reason that episode existed, except for all the eye candy we all got, was to explain that a little more deeper. So when they do call to that at the last episode or next season, everyone will be, oh, she said that 3 episodes ago. Yes. Because I think the Armor she knew how to handle it. She had no problem handling that Darksaber. Same with Galen Merritt clones. And someone mentioned too, I don't know if it was on the show or on one of the shows I watched on YouTube, that they destroyed all of Moff Gideon's Dark Troopers. Do you think that was all the Dark Troopers? Like those 24? I don't think so.
No, there'll be a factory somewhere building them.
So it'd be nice to see those. Any kind of Imperial stormtroopers again. I like those guys. I miss them. Was Jocasta there at first and then she died?
Jocasta, no, she died. Vader killed Jocasta.
They showed that.
It was in the comics, and that is canon. So yeah.
Oh, in the comics? Yeah, okay, I remember that. Well, yeah, I didn't recognize those 3 or 4 Jedi we did see get killed, but one of them was a young teen human, and one of them might have been an alien, but I didn't recognize their names. If you bring an image of the flashback for one of the bears, very striking resemblance to Sin Dralig. What's a Dralig?
One of the Jedis. Yeah, I thought they were just like random Jedis, but they might not be. They might. Because it's Dave Filoni and he knows, because he had all the Jedi in the Clone Wars. So yeah, he probably know. He probably has put specific Jedi in there.
I agree. Yeah, I think there's a reason why they did it, because that was minutes away from what we saw on screen, or it was minutes before or minutes after what we did actually see, right? So it wasn't like they were hiding something from us. I think we got to see. I think we did get to see lots of good eye candy in this episode, and I really don't. I hope I don't see a bunch of Twitter videos about why I hated this episode of not Boba Fett.
No,
Boba Fett, or
I only saw one person say they didn't like last week's episode, and that was Chris 1000 Ghosts.
Yeah, I did see that. The next
he said it were boring. I thought, was he watching the same one as me? I found the other ones boring until last week.
I think if Chris reads the Book of Rick and his theories on Star Wars, he'll learn. Last episode was a good episode to explain the mythosaur theory of why Boba Fett. This series is about Boba Fett.
Yeah,
and why him and not Din Djarin will eventually be the person who holds that Darksaber, I think. And I don't think it'll be in a battle. So that's if you really want to know what I think happens there, I don't want to say because it might be really sad.
Yeah, Jocasta, that's what I was saying. Jocasta knew. Yeah, I mean they could retcon that, I suppose.
What Sin Dralig is? Is that an alien creature?
Technically killed by Anakin. Well, they could retcon it.
Oh, okay, because he wasn't. That Sin Dralig was also in. The cartoons.
The comics are canon until they want to change it.
Yeah, he's like an older man with the Jedi pony.
Yeah.
So you could be right. I don't think I've ever had a toy of that character, and I tend to know all the toys' names. I do think next week we do get to see the Rancor again. I think that's a shoo-in.
Ghost does love the series until last week. He didn't like last week's, whereas everybody else was the other way around. So I want to know how he feels about today's.
He got a big chubber like we all did, and if he didn't, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll feel bad for him. I'll feel really bad for him if.
As soon as I saw that sensor I was in.
As soon as I knew,
Cobb Vanth came out first. It was Cobb Vanth first. I thought, yeah, oh wow,
for sure. And then they showed Din flying to a planet or something.
Then I thought, Luke.
I knew. I'm like, oh, we're gonna see Mando and Grogu reunite, and we freaking didn't. And I was sad that we didn't get to see those two unite. I was really sad about that. I didn't care for the difference in the production of the last two episodes compared to the earlier ones. Clocked in great too and explained. Yeah, I agree, but I do think the first two episodes were to tell story. It wasn't as much of it was to lay the plot, introduce characters, locations where Boba Fett spends his time, right? Looked and clocked. G'day, Josh and Linda. Hey, Michael Reed.
All right, Michael. Yeah.
How did I know there was going to be a Clone Wars character appearance tonight? Well,
that's what I said. That's what we said, isn't it? It's
so good to see Cad Bane.
As soon as I thought, who's this character that's walking up? Then I thought I heard the rumours that Cad Bane was going to be in it, and I thought, well, Dave Filoni, is going to be in it.
And because it had
to have Ahsoka in it, he had to have Cad
human proportions. I knew it wasn't Bosk. I'm like, Bosk wouldn't just walk up in a desert, because he's another character I really hope to see. I do think we're going to get him. I don't think they'll deny us that. I really don't.
Yeah, but Cad Bane didn't have a mini rig, did he?
Well, he didn't like the voice as much as you and me did. The voice is what.
The voice was really good.
Because even when they weren't showing Luke on the screen, his face, or even him at all, and it was him talking to Grogu, it was Luke to me.
Yeah,
it was Mark.
It was 100 times better than the end of Mandalore season 2. That episode, it was night and day. They've got this YouTube guy on, and he's just knocked it out of the park.
But yeah, hats off to the visual.
I like that.
Well, it wasn't just same here, man. I screenshot that, and I'm like, and I even slow mode it for a couple of seconds just to see his eyes and mouth, and I'm like, he's got the scar on his lip from his car accident before Empire. Like I'm like, I was blown away by that. So that's one episode I'll definitely watch several times, and I'll feel sad every time when they don't let Yoda and Grogu and Mando meet up. We'll see her again. I guarantee that character survived.
I think there could be a Luke series, but it's going to cost them a hell of a lot to do.
I think it could be animated. I think they could do that animated instead of have Mark Hamill do the voice. He's a voice actor now.
He'll just show up. He'll just show up in other people's, like Ahsoka and Mando. I think he'll just show up. I don't think he's going to have his own series. I think it's too much for him, to be honest with you.
I think they are completely stupid. Disney, if you're watching, you're completely stupid if you don't make an animated Grogu show. Animated Grogu is appealing to children and younger people. Make a cartoon. I'll watch it as a 50-year-old guy because I want to know Grogu's story. Have Mark Hamill do the voice, train them, eat frogs, chase little silver balls, do whatever you want. It would be hugely successful, and you can keep making toys. Corvette Summer, baby. So I wonder if those Moss Vespas are going to get some cannons and stuff added to them. Some modifications, if you know what I mean.
Michael wants to know how I knew that Luke was going to be in it. Well,
we just assumed to be a continuation of last week. And I
just
agree.
know.
I thought we're either going to see Luke half and half this episode, which ended up being that, or I thought we won't see Luke until Mando season 3.
I called Luke and I called Grogu, but I didn't call Ahsoka and I didn't call Cad Bane.
No, so, I didn't think
50% there.
I didn't see the reason to see Ahsoka, but
as well.
It was a very good reason. It was to tell Mando, no, you can't see Grogu. And I'm like, now I hate Ahsoka even more. You stopped Mando from seeing Luke. That was bad and made me cry. And then Luke made Grogu make a decision and that pissed me off. It didn't make me cry. Yeah, there was a Bantam fetus, and no one shot him.
They were in Mandalorian.
Usually people shoot.
He got eaten by the crate dragon.
Yeah, no problem eating that. Mark knows things. Well, he had a beer with Samuel Jackson last week.
Yeah, I've been watching Star Wars for 40 odd years.
Yeah, we're not the young Padawans, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it's going so far, and I'll definitely watch this again before I go to bed because I slept all day today. I had 12 for the last couple, but today I slept for 6 hours while the sun was out, and I'm feeling a little bit better, so I have no problem giving that another quick watch. 40 minutes of my life without that would be harmful. I was so happy with it. I can't wait to see what happens.
I know. I mean, the first 4 episodes, I couldn't care less, to be honest with you, which was wrong. But now I'm back in it. They've dragged me back in just when I thought it was out. I get dragged back in.
Yeah. No, it'd be nice if it wasn't only 7 episodes. Like, you see some shows that come out, like I started to watch a couple of new ones on Netflix, and one was this zombie high school in Korea.
Yeah, I've started watching that.
And as I watch it, I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's like 20 episodes. I'm like, how can they make 20 episodes of this in like probably a month? And we only get 7 Mando. Come on, man. Step up. Do this for like 3 months straight. So many storylines you can do. If it is as low budget as everyone is saying it is, which I totally disagree with. I don't think any of this shit's low budget. These people don't make minimum wage. None of these people, man. They work for Lucasfilm and Jon Favreau. They're professionals, and they get paid a lot of money. And making a Naboo N1 starfighter is not cheap. You know, making a Banta, and they got to do that stuff. It's all physical. Very much. What physical props do we see tonight? We saw. I don't think this was physical. I don't think they actually built this, but you know, we got these great costumes. We got these great sets that they keep going back to. We got speeder bikes are always parked everywhere. We got super makeup on this guy and you know, top of the line stuff there. But I don't see the robot up in his head here. And the last time we saw him, he had a robot brain, so to speak, like metallic, and I think even on his body, like something too. So I wonder what's going on there. What does it say? Does anyone else think we'll see Boba rescue Tusken survivors from the spice mines? I never even thought about them being in the spice mines, but I don't think there's spice mines. I don't think there is spice mines on Tatooine. I think those are off-world. So if they took Tuskens off-world, that's a whole episode. I don't see that being unless they save that for next year. That character would be sad because it's a great character. I'd like to see her again. I'm assuming it's a female. Yeah, it's. I think it's very high budget. I think.
Oh yeah.
I don't think there's any TV show that can brag and say it costs more than.
Let's face it, they've not made any live action Star Wars last year.
No, they've saved some money.
Yeah, so they've only that. This is the one series we've had in the last year.
And it's a new technology that they're the first people to use. This stagecraft volume that they're using for a lot of the scenes where they don't actually have to build a life-size Razor Crest. It's modern blue screen that's better than blue screen. It's real screen, floor, ceiling, walls, no corners. Like they make it. It's quite seamless. But I know what you mean there, Josh. You can see.
Behind scenes are lackluster. You know why that is? Because Fennec Shan's 58 and Boba Fett's 60 odd.
Yeah.
You know
what I think they can do too, and don't think they don't do this already, is go back and re-upload and edit, not edited like it's altered, but edited that they made the graphic or something to look a little like it's just the background screen that they have to change, none of the acting or the voice or the sound effects. They just change the screen and back to a better looking HD image. I bet you they've already even done that to Mando season 1 stuff. Like, I wouldn't be surprised they have the technology to do that. When George Lucas went back and remade the special edition, he had to get film negatives and, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's it's all digital.
See,
Right?
I just want Boba Fett to put his helmet on, get a stuntman, and be badass. Do it.
This
Did
needs
you
to
do it in the
Bantha
Mandalorian?
ride to
Do
Bantha.
it in
I
Boba Fett.
guarantee. I would pay $100 to go ride a Bantha right now, or at least just.
I'd have a Bantha burger, please.
Or just have a robot one sitting out there going licking her ice cream every time.
I'd rather have a Tauntaun.
Fennec looks fantastic.
She does, yes.
And I see Elvira's in the news again, in regards to the Joe Rogan controversy. And she is still fabulous. And she's like in her mid-70s, Elvira. And she looks like she's...
Yeah. Erin Gray's in her
29.
70s. 72, I think she is. And she's still
Erin Gray's... I saw someone showed her doing a Zoom call with someone. Yeah, she's absolutely gorgeous at her age. Absolutely.
Exactly, Michael.
Oh, did I catch that?
I hope so.
Yes, Mando's stuntman has been the same guy. The guy's super acrobatic. We've seen some of the stuff he can do. Yeah, it shows Mando is a pretty badass fighter.
When they did actually show Boba Fett in this episode, he did have his helmet off. Mando gave him the Mando nod. Why didn't Boba Fett have his helmet on so he could nod back to him?
The helmet nod, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think we'll see a helmet nod next week when Dengar or someone goes up there. I remember you.
Missed opportunity.
Boba getting Fett in episode 7. Yes, I agree. I think we see some more of the badass Fett that we've been missing maybe a couple weeks. But yeah, he still killed more people than Mando, I believe, just by taking out that biker gang, the speeder bikers. 2 stunt doubles for fighting. Oh, okay, wow, I didn't realize that.
In was it episode 1 when they were surrounded by those guys with shields and sticks?
Yeah, the ninjas guys.
Were they agents of Shield?
Yeah, they were the guys that got fired from Agents of Shield.
Just thinking, Fennec Shan, Agents of Shield. No.
No issues whatsoever. That's very good to hear because I have no issues at all with this episode.
Good.
I can't wait to read other people say that too because it makes me happy to know the fans are happy because there's a lot of fans out there, all ages. Din Djarin could kick Boba's ass even in his prime. It looks like it right now. Din Djarin's
a blind guy with a stick could could kill Boba Fett originally.
I think Boba Fett in hand-to-hand combat would kick Boba Fett's ass, or would kick Din Djarin's ass. But blasters and armor and flying, I think Mando's got the upper hand. Plus, he's got the Darksaber, which he can barely use. But hand-to-hand with sticky sticks, Josh, sticky sticks. I think Boba would kick Din.
What's brown and sticky? A stick.
I think Fen Sherrick would even give both of them a run for their money in a hand-to-hand fight. As we saw, who's that? That wrestler Mando girl that you like, Sasha Banks. What's her character's name?
Forlom and Zucker should have their own show, and
their own little spin-off.
And everybody just gets confused. Who's who? That's what the whole show's about. Them just getting confused all the time.
I think it's going to definitely be Boba who deals with Cad Bane because they have a history from the animated series, totally. A deleted scene, and even in canon, I guess. They work together.
That's how he got his dent in his helmet.
Cad Bane helped raise Boba, I believe, a little bit. But then I think Aurra Sing and Boss took over. Shoot, I mean.
Yes, Shane.
Koska Reeves. Yeah, so Koska Reeves gave Boba Fett a good run for the money when they throw down in the bar.
Yeah.
She had a little help from 2 other people, but I mean, she did pretty good. So she's tough. We know Bo-Katan is tough. So all these Mando characters, including Boba Fett, are tough. I can't see any Mandos being not tough.
We know Koska can kick anybody's ass.
All they do is wear helmets.
Got the belt.
So I do think every Mando we've ever seen so far is pretty much a badass, which is good. It's the creed of being a badass, I guess.
See, I don't mind them taking their helmets off.
No, it seems like Mando took it off once Well, we saw him take it off once to drink tea, which shows us I guess he can't eat. But the people were outside; no one saw him.
Yeah.
Then when Grogu kind of like reached for his face, he had to take it off, and then the other people saw him, but they don't care. They all had their
Have you
helmets off.
taken your helmet off? Once.
Yeah, so they've never met a clan of 3 people who don't take their helmet off.
But he's no longer a Mandalorian, so just take your bloody helmet off.
And the armorer said last episode, there's only 3 left of our clan. Does that include Din Djarin?
Yeah.
I'm not clear to that because he's been kicked out of the clan.
Yeah.
So does that mean there's a 3rd one? Another Mando character we haven't seen yet? Like we've seen a few in the dark alleys and that came to help him fight, just Death Watch people or whatever they were called. But I wonder if I'm gonna have to say yes. I do think they're including Mando Din Djarin in that clan of 3. I think the little fight in the bar will be important later. Yeah, I do, because Boba's either gonna want their help, or I don't think they're gonna be enemies to Boba at this point until it comes to the Darksaber. I think that's when. If Boba gets that Darksaber, and she wants it, Bo-Katan that is, there's an excuse to make her own Disney Plus series that has the character of Boba Fett.
Does she want it though? Does she really want it?
Of course she does. Why would she just have a baby?
You were a pain in the ass for her.
I think she has a baby that someone else had for her. So
I think she's going to fight for it this time, isn't she? She's definitely going to fight for it this time.
Instead of having it just handed to her, right? I think Bo and Cossack's acceptance of Boba as the new Mandalore would show a big turnaround for their characters. Yeah, it would. And if they believe in all the Mandalore theories and stories and legend, they should accept that Boba is the true Mandalore leader. And unless they want to fight him for it. Mandalorians become artistic on their planet for a while and gave up being warriors, I'm pretty sure. Oh, that's interesting. I just like the fact that
I don't think they can be stop being warriors, can they?
Our introduction to them was a bounty hunter, right? So
yeah.
So far, it looks like
Mandalorian's a way of life, isn't it? No,
they're decent pilots too, so they obviously have a little bit of that. Or between Boba and Mando, we know they're pretty decent pilots and they know how to fly them. Oh, I got my first.
We've got a bot.
First bot. I think I got him.
Pew pew.
Okay, I've been looking all over this window. I don't see how many hours I've been on here. I thought it said here
1 hour.
1 hour 17 minutes. Okay. So I don't know unless anyone has any questions or big Easter eggs or things that we missed or that I might have missed or Mark might have missed. Let me know. Because I was very happy. There wasn't a lot of that fan service. If you call this fan service, then I don't know.
If that were fan service, bring it on. If
you call this fan service, then I don't know what your problem is.
I would love to see a Luke series. I would definitely. I don't think they're going to do it because I think it's just too difficult for them to keep it up. If they did the Luke series, it'd have to be an actor that looked like him. I don't think they can keep that up for a whole series.
I think they just showed us that.
Not yet, anyway.
But I don't think they will. I just don't. I think it's something they can do in a cartoon and make everyone still happy. But
I would like to see a Jedi series.
We've
got the Mandalorian series. I'd like to see a Jedi series.
Even with characters we already know, or with new characters.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen with. We're going to get a Rey series. I think moving forward, we'll get a Rey series, and if it involves Grogu, then so be it. It's just who they're going to fight. That's all. If you get the Yu Zhongfeng in, that'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be good.
Just wanted to share this.
Now the Empire's gone, the Yu Zhongfeng come in and try to take over the Republic. Yeah.
I just wanted to leave on that photo because
that could have been 1983.
I think that's just brilliant. Like I think they nailed
that is amazing.
And
even the nose is perfect.
I don't know if anyone else. I'm sure you all follow Mark Hamill on Twitter, any of the social medias. He's been teasing all week, like a quiz or something, right? And he showed a picture of a couple of rocks, and then he showed a picture of a Starbucks coffee place, and then he showed a picture of a McDonald's Canada, which I didn't clue on until the next photo. He showed a picture of Vancouver. Welcome to the city of Vancouver. So Mark Hamill's in Vancouver right now with his family. He took a private jet here, I think for pleasure. I don't think he's here working. And but he was showing. He's like, "Oh, one more day, I'll reveal everything." And he revealed he was in Vancouver, but I think he also was teasing this very much so that he was going to be in this episode of Book of Boba Fett. I was too, Shane. I gave it a 2 thumbs up. Another 10 out of 10 episode, as I've given every episode so far.
You could do a Luke movie, but we know what happens with Luke, and that's a sad thing, I think.
Except this part, we don't know this 20 years.
Yeah, but he's building it. We know he's building this school, and we know what happens to it. That I thought, oh, he's building this, and we know what happens to it.
Yeah, I'd like to see a Teen Wolf Grogu, Teen Wolf style Grogu. You know, getting into drugs.
Oh, come on, give it a chance. Good writing.
I do think we'll see Rey again at some point too.
See, the thing is, when we saw Force Awakens, that chemistry between Rey and Finn at the beginning was outstanding until they met Han Solo. If they carried that on, I think it would have been marvelous. And if they can do that, if they can get them both back on to do a series, she trains Finn to be a Jedi because he is obviously a Jedi. They've done that for a reason. There's a thread there that he is Force sensitive. They need to do a series of that with their chemistry together. Just them two. I think that would be really good.
Could they have Opie Cunningham's daughter do that? Reese Dallas Howard, could she do that new Rey movie or Disney Plus series? Because I think a TV series, I think, would be a better option for them to go with those characters. I think because people didn't like the movie. Oh, I'm not going to pay $20 to see the movie, but I'll watch the TV show because I didn't cancel my subscription.
John Boyega says I'm not going to do a Disney Plus series, but give him that.
Here's $3 million, dude. Yes, I'll be there tomorrow. Yeah.
You're not going to turn it down, are you? When Disney comes and says, "Will you do this?" You're not going to turn them down, are you?
John Boyega, he's been people think he's giving Star Wars some hate. He loves Star Wars, man. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh yeah,
he loves everything.
It's like Ewan McGregor.
They all love.
We knew he was going to come back as Obi-Wan because he loves doing it.
The actor that played, that cowboy in the background of that movie, they all love doing it, man. They wouldn't do it if they didn't love doing it. That'll be a movie. Yeah, I just think they wouldn't put that $300 million into a movie that a lot of people have hate for. Not hate for, but don't have the love for that they do, say, for Luke and Baby Grogu. I think that would be more of a movie idea. Yeah, Grogu in a movie for sure. But I think a cartoon movie, even like a Pixar movie or however they want to animate this.
Clone Wars movie.
Why not? They know that they make their stories canon. Like even on YouTube, Disney had those Galaxy of Adventures. Those are great animations. Those are some of my favorite animations.
Oh, they were really good. Really good.
Ever seen. So I would watch hours of a series of Luke and Grogu in that style, or in Spider-Verse style, or in Lord of the Rings old 1976 style, like any style. I'm a fan of art, and I'm a fan of Star Wars. You put them together, make me a happy camper. A new trilogy, Mark. Rey and Finn, and one turns to the dark side.
I would. There's one aspect I think of the sequels that would have been better. I've said this before, but if Rey had been bad from the start, and she turned Ben into Kylo, and then Luke came to rescue him, I think that'd have worked better. Because with Rey being a Palpatine anyway, she would have been better as the bad guy. And I thought that would have worked better.
Yeah, they did. It did because of that the one dream sequence that she had where she was like a a dark ray with a double saber and stuff like that. I think that shows, she still has the potential even right now.
Oh yeah,
to go to the dark side, right?
But I don't think they'll do that now. I think that's gone. But I don't think they're going to have. If they do this series that they're talking about, I don't think they're going to have Sith in it. I think it's going to be like a training Jedi thing and a new school and that, and something like a Yu Fong come in.
Yep.
To invade the galaxy. Now the Empire's gone. They see the opportunity to attack, and they can. In the books, they could attack the Force sensitive, couldn't they?
Yes,
they were a match for the Jedi.
They had some kind of power that the Force didn't affect them the
same
way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just all concentrated on this Mandoverse, and and what's coming next, right? Like with the Ahsoka show and Mando season 3, and even I guess with the Bad Batch that story's gonna tie in somehow too, right? Ray should have been Jaina. Yeah, I think it almost seems like she is that character. Like Jaina and Jason were the kids of Han Solo, right? The twins.
Yeah.
And then maybe the First Order would join.
The thing is with the books, though, is Chewie died, so swings and roundabouts.
But not in canon.
In the books, he did, yeah. Because the only reason they killed Chewie off, because how do you write Chewie in a book?
Chewie is
not every 5 minutes. You can't write a character like that. So
Chewie is not.
That's why they killed him off
in canon.
Oh, not in canon, no. But in the books. That's what he's saying. If they brought Jason and Jaina,
they make books now that are canon, so you can't use that term.
No.
Because I have books here that are canon, and I have books over here that aren't canon. It only started 4 years ago, right?
It's what just think what you want. It's like an alternate universe, like a multiverse in it.
Can you guys still hear me? These things just absolutely kill me.
Yeah.
Oh shit, man!
Just got echo.
Is there an echo?
There was then.
Got rid of that.
It seems all right now.
So I think I want to call it here just because now my ears are ringing from having those damn things in for an hour. I gotta find a solution for that. But thanks, Mark, for coming. It makes it a lot easier to jibber jabber when I have some company and a friendly face to talk to.
Yeah.
And your experience with the.
And we actually agreed this week.
Well, of course, what? I know you don't have hate for the series. You just haven't seen.
Oh no, I just didn't
pleases your eyes.
Any feelings for it, to be honest with you. And it's wrong because it's Boba Fett, and Boba Fett was the badass character from 1979 until he got his ass kicked in '93. But it's always been it was in the comics that he crawled out that Sarlacc pit. Yeah. I actually saw an episode.
I read a book too where he escaped the Sarlacc.
Did you ever watch TV Sins? They did an episode with Boba Fett, and they said you need to watch that.
Okay.
Because they really take the piss out of him coming out of the. Why do we need to see it? We don't need to see it. We don't. We know he got out of the Sarlacc pit. Why do we need to see it? Why do we need to see everything?
I see a lot of the legend stuff in this now.
Yeah. Why do we need to see everything?
I'm happy for it because they have so much characters and art and places and stories that they can pull from. Why not use it? Like, you own it all. It's your universe of Star Wars that George Lucas created. Pull from it. Pull little things. Pull a character from a video game. Have someone with the same hair. Someone should walk by with the same hairdo as Princess Leia. Like, why not? It's obviously a fashion thing. Like, give us all the candy.
See, they're bringing these new characters in, brand new characters, and they're bringing characters from books, from comics, from Clone Wars series.
Yeah, the video games, everything. Everyone's happy, right?
Yeah.
Us guys, people that just video game hounds, people that love make everyone happy. Thanks, Michael, and
pew pew. And Yelena, get out of it.
And
great book.
Don't thank that name. I don't even know how to say those names.
Go read the books. Go watch Clone Wars.
Yeah, definitely go back and see. this Cad Bane character, if that was your first introduction to him.
You know what? Boba Fett to me was the figure. I always had Boba Fett in my stories and when I used to play. It used to be Luke in his best spin outfit, eventually going to fight Vader. But he had to fight Boba Fett before he fought Vader. That was my canon every time I played with my toys. So Boba Fett was always there for me.
I think everyone likes Boba Fett a little more after today, but not just Boba. The whole series in general, I think people are a little more.
Ola's got a sister?
Oh, maybe she just got killed in the bar. Hopefully Max Rebo's okay. Please, Max Rebo be okay.
That's all that Hasbro brings out.
But yeah, thanks, Mark. Thanks everyone for coming out. Make sure you give a thumbs up before you head out, because it makes other people watch it, and also
click that like button.
As we did tonight.
Click stuff.
This is the best stuff so far, guys. Thanks for coming out, and until next week, I am Boba Fett.
This is the way.